Hi everyone, I'm Dan Golding. I am a senior lecturer in media and communications at Swinburne, and I've also done a fair bit of work with the ABC over the years in terms of TV, a little bit of TV, and quite a lot of radio. So I thought I would just show you my setup here for recording lectures at home. This is in my studio here. As you can see, I do quite a lot of music, so I've got a lot of musical instruments, but I think I'll have some tips that should make things, well, hopefully easier for you, even if you, well, don't have a basic music studio like I do. So basically, as you can see here, I've just got an ironing board for my setup for recording lectures and videos at home. And basically I am just recording on, well, a selfie stick. I'm using my phone. Here you can see that's the stick that I've got there, but it also spins out to become a little tripod. Now what I do basically is I've got this set up with a second screen here, which I'm lucky enough to have, but I don't think you need one. It's just a kind of an added bonus, and then my Swinburne laptop there. Now what I tend to do is I have this, and I'll just set this up. I have my iPhone, just a regular old iPhone, sitting around about here next to my computer, which as you can see is right here, next to a microphone, which is just out of shot. That's an audio microphone that I have from my music days, which I just use to record my voice. It just improves the sound quality, but I don't think that really matters. As you can tell, I'm not using it now. For anybody who's seen Singing in the Rain, it's much easier to move a camera than it is to move a microphone, so I'm just using the camera's microphone at the moment, the phone's microphone, and it's totally fine. So when I first started doing these lectures, basically what I did was I tried to replicate the lecture experience. I had myself up against a white wall and I digitally inserted the slides over my shoulder like I was giving a lecture. But I don't know, I don't think that turned out to be quite so interesting. These are unusual and strange times, so if you've got a more interesting background, I think why not take advantage of it? So this is the kind of setup that I usually have. I think actually in general it's better if you can frame your videos on an angle. So flat imagery, like just up against the wall there, is not super interesting visually. Your students' eyes will wander during the course of a lecture, even a 5-minute video, and they'll take in details behind you. It's always nice to have something interesting, possibly even something relevant for them to focus on. So I try and frame myself on an angle. As you can see here with the lines, you've got this wall going along here, and then this wall going along here, and it kind of intersects behind me, drawing the eye to me in the middle, I guess. As you can see as well, I've got a little bit of lighting behind me, some purple lights there. Now, originally what I went for was 100% daylight, trying to get as much of natural light in as possible. I think that's still pretty good if you can do that. Natural light always works really nicely. However, if you've got the ability to do something a little bit more interesting, I think having some more interesting lighting will again help make your videos just that little bit nicer. So what I actually do now is basically, you can see here, I have a little LED globe, one of those kind of novelty globes that's Wi-Fi connected. You can change the color. I had that anyway because of course I'm a giant nerd. You might have one lying around the house. The reason why I've gone for that one is because you can get like a really flat white, so not like a nasty, as you can see, the sort of yellowish downlight effect, which is not very nice. And basically what I've done, right, is this is just my bedside table with the diffuser removed. Then I've got this, which is a plate holder, and I put a poster that's plain white on the back, and I've stuck it around there to diffuse the light. So as you can see, this kind of spills the light out quite a lot over your face. What you want is as flat lighting as possible. I'll talk about that in a moment. So I tend to bring down the lighting a little bit in the room, just the natural lighting, that is. And there is a reason for this. I'll turn off the big light. And that is because what you can do in the end, and then I've got this light either side of me, so that's just a regular desk lamp, right? But basically what you want to do, especially for someone with glasses like me, because you'll see if I look directly into the light will catch my glasses, and that's not the effect we want at all. So you really want to light directly behind your computer or your, whatever camera you're using, and then you want lights either side, right? And you'll have to play with the setup. But you see what I've got here in the end is basically the effect where, and I'd have to play around and adjust for my own lights, and the microphone's getting away in it a little bit, but basically I've got light on my face. It's as flat as possible. But then I've got a little bit of darkness behind me with some kind of interesting textures and lighting behind me as well, which just, I think, makes the video kind of interesting, It just makes it look that little bit nicer, for a student to watch for an hour or however long you're doing these lectures for. Now, framing as well, I keep my video low. There is a school of thought that suggests your video should be high, looking down onto you. That's not a bad option, and I think especially for things like Zoom meetings and things like that, having a video, having the camera above you looking down is always going to work. But I actually think for lectures, I really like having the video down below, because then I'm kind of welcoming the students into my studio, my lecture, my train of thought, I guess. Yeah, so, as simple as that, an ironing board, some common household products, and that's kind of it. Good luck, everybody. I hope you're doing okay under the circumstances.